you guys, it's me Crystal, and welcome to our last Top 5 Wednesday video of March. I have successfully completed an entire month of Top 5 Wednesday videos. And so the theme for March 31st is Give Me More, and normally I would read it off of the Goodreads group, but I'm not going to do that today. So basically this prompt is a book that you wanted to be longer, or a standalone book that you wanted a sequel for, or a series that you wanted to be longer, that you wanted more books for. So I have some books to talk about, so let's just get started. And so the first book I want to mention is Giant Days by John Allison, and this is volume 14, and this is the last volume. And the reason why this book is on the list is not because I wanted more books in the series. I mean, like, I would have taken more books in the series, but I understand that, like, you know, this is about their college days, and their college days have come to an end. So the reason why this book is on here is that I just feel like this volume could have been like just a little bit longer, because like the last chapter, they like skip, I want to say several months. I don't think it's quite a year, but they skip several months, and they kind of just like check in to see how everyone is doing with like adult life and, you know, how they're faring in the real world or whatever. And it's like everything was fine for these two characters, but for Esther, for some reason, she's like, well, Esther's having a crisis, but it's like, this is contemporary. So most of this book, it's pretty lighthearted for the most part. It's funny, it's quirky, and it's like this last chapter, like, it got a little off the rails, tonally speaking, where like there are like some weird supernatural stuff going on while Daisy like tries to find herself. And instead of it feeling symbolic, it felt like the author was just like, well, I have this series where some supernatural stuff is going on, and it's like he couldn't help himself or something. And it didn't make the most amount of sense. And I just feel like after reading all of these volumes and all of these chapters, I just wanted like a more, like a normal ending, like a more normal ending, and a more, I guess, complete ending, and a less open-ended kind of ending. I just wanted a pretty bow tied up on everything, where we leave the story and we see everyone starting like the next phase of their life. It just seemed like everybody was like, you know, I might change this, I might do this, and we don't know, you know, exactly what the next step is, just that they're taking a new step and we don't get to see it. And I'm just like, I just feel like after everything, I just wanted it to be more complete and, you know, tonally consistent with the rest of the series. Speaking of books in the series, so I have these Vampire Academy graphic novels, and we just had the first 3 books, Vampire Academy, Frostbite, and Shadow Kiss. And okay, so this is on here actually because they canceled these books, I guess, due to low sales. But I'm like, sometimes it takes people a while to find things. Like, sometimes people don't know that things are available. Like, I did not know these were available until like a few years after they decided that, you know, nobody was buying them. And it's like, I want them. I want the next 3 books in the series. Do you know how this book ends? Like, I want, and obviously I still want to read the Vampire Academy series. I rearranged my bookshelves. Anyway, they're down in here now. I'm just impatient, and it's going to take me a while to read 6 books. I've only read the first book, so it's going to take me a while to read 5 more books. And I really want to see how everything plays out. I mean, I know how everything plays out because I read the spoilers for every single book. But, like, I would like to see everything play out and then be super pumped to see what, you know, all the things that they left out of the graphic novel in the book. And I just think I would get to them faster if I could read the graphic novel first. But I don't know. Maybe I just want to take a shortcut. But also, like, these are just so fun, okay? The artwork is really fun, and, you know, it has like the same, you know, tone and energy as like the Vampire Academy book anyway. And I just, you know, I just think it would be great if they existed, but they don't, and it's fine. But anyway, that's why these books are on here, because they quit halfway through the series, and I would really love the rest of them, but I'm not gonna get them, so it's okay. And next I have The Vines by Christopher Rice. And normally, like, I don't pick on novellas for being novellas, but this isn't exactly a novella. It's like 200 pages long, okay? And so this is like paranormal book about it's okay, there's a lot going on in this book, and I just feel like I would have liked this to be like a regular size book. Okay, so I bought this book online, and I just about never see what the page count is for a book before I buy it. So I didn't know this book was short when I bought it. But anyway, this book is about this woman. Well, it's about a lot of things, which is why I need it to be longer. But one of the point of view characters, because there's a few, is this woman, and the story opens and it's her birthday, and she's having like this big party on this plantation that her family owns. And she doesn't live there. It's just kind of like this property that's in the family, and there's this guy who like upkeeps the property, and then like she uses it for like parties and stuff. And so she's having this birthday party, and she catches her husband with this other woman. So instead of confronting him, she takes this bottle of wine, and she's like drunk, and she's getting drunker, and she ends up smashing the bottle of wine and using a piece of glass to try to slit her wrist in this gazebo. And so when her blood starts seeping through the blood of the gazebo, these vines come up. They feel her pain. So first they kind of feed on her blood a little bit, and then like they heal her wounds, and then like they feel her pain, and they go after the source of her pain, which is her husband, and they kill her husband. And so it's like the woman becomes like obsessed with these vines, and she wants to feel their power more, but like the object of her like vengeance is gone, you know. And so like she's trying to get one of her friends to spill some of his blood on the ground so the vines can like get revenge for these people who like killed this guy he was in love with years ago. And so like we get this woman's point of view, and we get this guy's point of view, and then we get the groundskeeper, we get his daughter's point of view. And this book is so trippy, but like it needs to be longer. Like we don't have enough time, we don't have enough space, you know, in these 200 pages to like really dive, you know, into like this guy's point of view or this other girl's point of view. So we get a lot, and I think we get enough of like the first woman's point of view, but like we definitely could have used more and like of everybody else, and to get more in depth of everybody else. Like we got enough for the story to be satisfying, but it was just like I just wanted more. And also there was this other point of view with this woman in the past, like one of the slaves. She has biokinesis, which is basically poison ivy power. And oh my gosh, that part of the story was so interesting. And we get enough, you know, we get enough to know like where her power comes from and how she uses it and how it was abused and how the plantation fell to ruins before they reconstructed and everything. But it's just like I just wanted more from her point of view. I just like, instead of just getting like these snippets, you know, well basically the first point of view character where basically she was losing her mind is where we got just about all the snippets. You know, I wanted to like really be there, you know, with this woman. I love poison ivy power. Like I am so obsessed with biokinesis, and I just wanted more of that point of view, and I wanted more of the guy's point of view. So this book needed to have been at least 100 pages longer, maybe 150 pages longer. Okay, so next I have The Language of Thorns. And yeah, this is an anthology. And if you've heard me go off about this story before, then you already definitely know what I'm talking about. But the last story in this book is called When Water Sang Fire. And then there's this Little Mermaid thing. And I talked about this in my favorite reads of 2020 because I read this at the very beginning of 2020. That story broke something in my brain. Like I am still so obsessed with it and so emotional about it, like over a year later. And it's like I want an entire novel that not only covers what this short story covered, but I wanted to go more into the future, because I wanted like a complete like a complete arc for this story, because like basically we get like a backstory, some Little Mermaid-esque backstory, which I already love so much. And just the way this story ended, I'm like, how can you end it this way? It's like I want vengeance. Like I still want vengeance. I'm still so emotional about this story. Oh my gosh, it killed me. And also, just cause, like, you know, you should just look and see how, look at this artwork. Isn't that some nonsense? And then it changes over the red. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Anyway, I would love it so much if Libra Dugo wrote an entire book based on that short story, and like it just you know, we get like the full like story, you know, and we get to see just everything just come full circle. That's just what I really want, because oh my gosh, it's like one of my favorite things. But you know, I could love it a little more, you know, if it was a book, you know. Maybe I just really need it. I just need this girl, because it's like, yeah, the story ends and you feel like, okay, so she's definitely going to get some kind of vengeance. I mean, you kind of know where the story is going from there, but I would just love it so much if I got to see it go there, and I got to see her, like, you know, start enacting some vengeance against these fools who like completely deserve it. Okay, and the next book I want to talk about is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. And, okay, so I know I have more than 5 books, but I'm counting all the Vampire Academy books as 1 book. So, because I'm talking about it as, you know, as a series, so a series is 1 unit. So that's why I have more than 5 books. Anyway, I also talked about this in my most favorite reads of 2020, and this is not a short book to begin with, but I actually wanted this book to be a little bit longer, because it's like, we have 3 parts, and the 3rd part, I just feel like it needed more time, that Suzanne needed more time to like completely get to where she was trying to go. And as a result of it being on the shorter side, I feel like it's a little choppy, and I just feel like she needed like another 50 pages or so to like completely smooth everything out. And I just really love this book, so of course I wanted it to be a little bit longer. And I never say that about books. I don't like long books normally, but like this just needed to be longer. I'm like, you like, Hunger Games got 3 books, and so this is just 1 book, and I just feel like you just need a little bit more time, you know, like about 50, 35 more pages. You know, even 25 more pages. That last part just needed more time to like properly smooth everything out, and just needed a little bit more room to breathe, because I felt like it was moving. The pacing was just like a little off, and the characters were making developmental leaps that they needed a little bit more time to get there. You know, like Lucy needed a little bit more time. President Snow, whose name I forget, but he's not President Snow in this book. But anyway, he just needed a little bit more time to completely get to where he is at the end of the book. And you know, I just felt like his relationship with Lucy, that just needed a little bit more time to deteriorate. That's all. So that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, at some point I am going to talk about what I did with my bookshelves, because I was trying to get all my nonfiction books on one shelf and all my middle grade books on one shelf, and I don't have that many middle grade books, and I don't have that much nonfiction either. So I really wanted them on the bookshelf that I have in the kitchen area, and so I want to talk about what I did, because I'm excited about it. But obviously I ended up with a lot of space over here, and also off screen over there. But that's totally okay, because we like to have a lot of space on our bookshelves, because we like to buy books. So anyway, I'll see you guys next month, and I hope March was good for you, and if it wasn't, I hope April is better, and I will see you guys then. Bye.